guys, welcome to Asher and God. Hope you're doing great. Today we've got an exciting topic for you, and that's about selecting the right shipping company. Remember, this is our story and we're making Africa home again.
One family at a time.
Great. Are you ready? Okay. Relocation is a big deal. Big deal. You know, you have to think about how to move your things in case you're thinking of moving your things, because not everybody wants to move their things. Some people sold everything they had and they'll travel just like that. But for us, we had some very precious things, very sentimental items as well that we didn't want to leave behind. And it was very important that we found the right shipping company that will ship everything down to Ghana for us. But then, like Kay and I will always do, we researched a lot, and what we saw on the internet was very frightening because some people, lost some of their very precious items.
A lot of stuff.
And the shipping companies didn't do anything about it. I mean, when they reported. So I was really not comfortable with that. But obviously we prayed. We asked the Most High to direct us to the right shipping company.
Better believe it. Yeah.
Yes. And we found the right shipping company. In fact, we'll be telling you loads of stories, loads of information, okay, so that it will guide you in case you wanted to do the same thing we did. Okay, so we're going to cover a few things today. The first thing we're going to cover is the process of selecting the right shipping company, okay? Yes, and then the packing tips. I'm going to give you some tips.
Wait for that.
And also, what to do when you arrive at Kotoka Airport.
Yes, that's it. Ghana International Airport.
Yeah, that's the Ghana International Airport.
Yeah.
Yes, and stay to the end, and I promise you, we'll give you some very good tips regarding relocating your items to Ghana.
Some bonus information.
Some bonus tips. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, Kingsley. Yeah. What would you like to say?
Yeah, I have a lot to say.
As usual.
As usual. and we'll start with, as Crystal said, the process of selection. Now, as with most things, the first thing we do is we ask for recommendations. So we went out there, we asked for a few recommendations of companies, especially I asked a lot of my Ghanaian colleagues in UK, which company can export my stuff to our stuff to Ghana. And obviously we did some research as well. And really we came up with 4 companies. We researched, we had lots of companies, but we narrowed down to 4. And those 4 companies were Joyco, Jobyco, Solaris Relocations, First Class Shipping, and Excess International. So we're going to take you through each of them, what we found out, and the pros and cons of each, and then the decision we came to at the end. Yeah. So the first one is Joyco. Now, Joyco was interesting because most of the Ghanaian people I asked in the UK said Joyco.
Was it the one your father used?
That's the one my father used when he relocated.
That's interesting. His father used it.
Yeah, when he relocated in 2005, he used Joyco. So it's a very popular company, and lots of people use them. So a lot of people are saying Joyco. Okay, fine. So I gave them a call and I looked into them, and I have to say their customer service was quite poor. I wasn't too impressed. Their customer service was quite poor, and what really put me off is what you said earlier on. And that is the sheer number of missing items.
I know.
The sheer number of missing items, right, was just ridiculous. You're reading reviews and you're hearing people say, "Oh, they lost so many of my items," and when they came and they took my items to the warehouse, some of them didn't even leave the UK, and it's like they tried to call them, and they were being sent round the houses, and it wasn't really encouraging for me. Even though a lot of people were recommending, it wasn't encouraging. Another thing that I didn't like is they offer no insurance.
I know.
They say, okay, you've got to arrange the insurance yourself, which again that put me off a little bit. That put me off a little bit. Another thing is that they don't offer a packing service either. So they just turn up with a couple of vans. You tell them how big your home is, like 2-bedroom house, 3-bedroom house. Turn up with a couple of vans, and they expect you to have packed everything, and there's experience. There's a way to pack and to pack properly. When you're shipping overseas a long distance, you have to pack it all yourself, and they just want to come in and lift and go. So they offer no packing service whatsoever, which is well, no, we needed a packing service. Maybe for some people it's not a big deal, but we needed a packing service. And also one thing that was disappointing as well is when I called them for a quotation, right? they didn't do a video call. They didn't come around to see the actual amount of items that were being shipped.
So I'm going to say something. So
Yeah.
when Kay said they didn't do a video call, you remember there was the seat something, the COVID was going on then.
COVID, yeah,
so
of
people
course, yeah.
couldn't come to visit people's homes. So they had to do a video call. So on our end, we'll have to walk them through the house with the video. That's what he means by
Exactly.
Yeah.
Video through all the rooms, the loft,
Yeah.
everywhere. You know, and they didn't ask for any of that. Just said, oh, how many bedrooms? That's it. They didn't. So basically, you turn up with 2 vans. If your stuff goes in the van, then fine. If you got more stuff for the two vans, then you've got to pay extra. But they don't tell you how much extra. It's all open. It's all open ended. And you know, when you're budgeting, you're building a house. Every little counts. Every little helps. So they need to. I didn't like that open ended type of arrangement. So I wasn't really very, very impressed at all. Even though many Ghana folks, said Joyco. But from a cost point of view, they came up with a cost of £5,500 to provide us with the door-to-door relocation service. Yeah, £5,500 without understanding what volume we actually had, because you need to understand how much volume to know whether we need a 20-foot container or a 40-foot container.
I know.
You know, so anyway, that was Joyco, £5,500. We weren't too impressed, and we decided to not really go with them. But anyway, we're covering everything we did. The second company was a company called First Class Shipping. They're based in Birmingham in the UK as well. Again, very similar to Joyco, just that they were slightly cheaper. They charged about £5,000, but again, they did not come for an inspection. They just asked for how many bedrooms. They didn't come for an inspection. They didn't do a video call. They don't know how much volume it is. They offer no insurance, which is annoying. You have to arrange it yourself. And the issue about arranging your own insurance is that you can do, but it becomes more expensive.
Yeah.
When the company that does the shipping on, they can get discounts. So when you can get it through the company, you can get it cheaper. So but they don't offer any insurance, which is not very good as well. And again, as you mentioned, what put me off on First Class Shipping is the sheer number of reviews that said items missing, poor service.
That was really alarming. Very alarming.
Because you don't want your hard sweat.
Yeah.
To just go missing just like that. That's just annoying. That is just not on. And guys, you can Google these companies yourself. The Google reviews are right there for you, and it will present it even in the summary table later on. So now, after those 2 assessments, we found another 2 companies, and now we were in the zone. We now were okay. This is now proper quality, next level about. So I talk about Excess International, great company. We thank you for finding them, speaking to them over the phone. Great customer service. They provided a packing service, which was great. We needed that. Very experienced company. They did a video call with us. We took them through all the rooms of the house. They assessed the volume, and they said, okay, yes, your volume is about 1,500 cubic feet. Okay. Now a 20-foot container can only take 1,172 cubic feet. So if you got 1,500 cubic feet, then it means you need a 40-foot container. Okay. Now the cost of shipping a 20-foot container versus the cost of shipping a 40-foot container is like double. Yeah. So it's a very important thing to know up front. You can't just leave it open-ended.
Yeah.
So that was fantastic of them. We obviously needed a 40-foot container. Their cost was naturally higher, and they have very, very good online reviews. I think it was about 4.1/5 or something. Wow. Very, very, very good online reviews, or 3.1/5. But it's still very good, right? And so naturally, obviously, because they offered to come to our house and do all our packing for us, okay, and then put them in boxes and then ship everything off. And so naturally their cost was a little bit higher. So their cost was about £7,210. Okay, so it's not cheap to ship your stuff.
Yeah.
Not cheap to ship your stuff at all. Okay. So then the 4th company we talked about was Solaris Relocations. Again, different level, very good, very similar to Excess International. Really, they went through the same process as Excess International. Video call, assessed our volume, similar. They came up with a similar, I think it was about 1,500 cubic feet, similar volume as Excess International, so that was great. However, their costs were slightly higher, £300 higher. They came out around £7,500 for the door-to-door service. Now, that's fine. You know, we're all about value for money.
Value for money,
So
yeah.
sometimes something can be a little bit more expensive, but what are you getting? What is the difference? So we had to make a choice. Solaris Relocation had great reviews. In fact, the best online reviews. They had a 5 out of 5. Something really, really, really good. So that was really good. So obviously we started with 4. We've eliminated Joyco and first class shipping. We've got Excess International and Solaris Relocation. So it's a case of now, after those two, who do we choose?
Yeah.
Solaris is £300 more expensive, but why are they more expensive?
Yeah.
And they were more expensive for the following reasons. And I asked the two companies the same question. We are concerned about items being missed. Okay, so these companies, they're all supposed to have local partners in Ghana, so that when the container arrives, that local partner deals with the clearance, the duties, the taxes, and delivers it to our home.
Right.
Solaris Relocations had a trusted Ghanaian partner, and they allowed us to speak to the Ghanaian partner, which was fantastic. So that Ghanaian partner, very good. They told us all the do's and don'ts. What to declare, what to write, every single thing, and that gave us the reassurance of the process, especially in Ghana, because we know that the port, it's improved a bit these days, but in previous years it's notorious for items being missed when they're inspecting your boxes. They just put a few things here and there. So, and Solaris Relocations also, you retain a dedicated account manager throughout the entire process from beginning to end. And the guy I was talking to, called Nitin, brilliant guy, simply excellent, really, really, really excellent guy. He was with us from the beginning to the end. Now with Excess International, they were equally as good, but the only thing that let them down is they did not have a trusted local partner yet in Ghana. They were now going to look for one, which they could easily find, but you're going to look for one. That means you haven't used them yet. You haven't got that relationship with them.
You don't know what package they got.
Exactly.
Got to be careful.
Exactly. But Solaris Relocation has been in the game. They've shipped items to Ghana quite a bit.
Right.
They have that trusted partner, and it was just more reassuring for us. It just made perfect sense to use Solaris Relocation.
It did.
Even though they were £300 more expensive.
Yeah.
But in the grand scheme of things.
I mean, when you calculate the value of items you're shipping abroad, and if paying £300 extra will make everything secure, you might as well do that, isn't it?
Exactly. And they both offered insurance, which was very good as well. Right, so guys, coming on your screen right now is a summary table, just to summarize all that we've just said, if you've missed a bit of it. So on your screen,
we're going to talk about how much insurance they offer.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that. Yes, we'll get there, guys. Almost. All right. So the table on your screen is just a summary table of the four companies. Got a criteria: Joyco, first class shipping, Solaris Relocation, and Excess International. So door-to-door service. Do they all offer door-to-door service? Yes. On all of that. Second row down. Packing service. Now obviously this depends on your own circumstance. So do they all offer packing services? Only 2 out of them, Solaris and Excess International. The other 2 don't. Insurance. Do they offer insurance? Solaris and Excess International offer insurance, but Joyco and first class shipping don't. You have to organize that yourself, which means it's going to be more expensive for you. Do they all have recent experience of shipping to Ghana? All of them, yes. Excess International, unknown, not sure whether they have or not, couldn't find that information. Do they all have access to a local partner, and are we allowed to speak to that local partner to understand how the process works and to really satisfy our concerns? Solaris Relocations, no. Solaris Relocations, yes. Excess International, no. Joyco and first class shipping, unknown, because we didn't need to go further with them because we found them to be disappointing, so they didn't get to that stage. So you can find that out for yourself if you want to use them. Are they able to ship smaller items as well? Smaller freight items as well for our future purposes. And yes, all of them can do that. I'm not sure about Excess International because I didn't ask the question. Were the volume of goods assessed prior to giving the estimate? Yes for Solaris and Excess International, but no for Joyco and first class shipping. And that is a significant risk because the shipping industry is riddled with a bit of dishonesty here and there.
That's true though.
Yeah. So if your volume is incorrect, you can be hit with significant fines. Yeah. And you have no choice. They'll keep your items, and the longer the items stay, you'll be charged as well. So it's very important to get your volume correct. Okay. Now, again, guys, you can check this for yourself. You look at the Google review score. I've got the date on there, 18th of September 2021. So I did the latest one for you to see. You can see Joyco has 3.5 over 5 based on 28 reviews. Okay, First Class Shipping has 4.1 over 5 based on 62 reviews. Please read them for yourself. Solaris Relocations has 5 over 5, obviously based on 16 reviews. And then Access International has 3.1 over 5 based on 37 reviews. Now, obviously, you've got to tailor this and make your own judgment. You can see that Solaris has the lower number of reviews, so I guess they've got 5 over 5. Maybe the more reviews they have, maybe their 5 will drop a bit. But you have to make that assessment for yourself. Cost based on 1,500 cubic feet volume, which is our approximate volume. Solaris Relocations, we've told you already, 7,500. Access International, 7,210. And the Joyco and First Class Shipping are there for you to see, but the volume was not assessed by them. Size of container, Joyco and First Class Shipping, no idea, couldn't tell us because they didn't assess the volume. But Solaris and Access International clearly on the ball, know what they're doing. They knew that we needed a 40-foot container. So awesome. So that's how we chose Solaris Relocation, you know.
Yeah.
Awesome. So some further tips for you regarding what you have to do during this process and after you've chosen the firm. Number one, as Crystal just said, you need to write down the list of items you want to insure.
Yeah.
Now, you don't necessarily need to insure every single item unless you're going to pay a lot of money. You know, the bigger the list, you know, the more, because the insurance is a percentage of the total items. And even though your items are personal used effects, you have to put a value to them, right? So the higher, the more items on the list and the higher the value, the more insurance you pay. Typically, industry standard is about 3.5%. Okay, and you need the insurance just in case, because anything can happen. You know, also you need an insurance list. The second thing you need to do, you need to list out all the new items because they are subject to tax, import tax, duties, and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. Now in Ghana, what are the new items? New items is anything that is less than 6 months old. Okay, it's important that you declare all the new items. Declare everything, because if you miss something out and they happen to find it, that's when
you're in trouble.
trouble. And you know, come on, let's be honest with ourselves. If you know Ghana, you know that there are many people out there, especially in the customs, they're looking to make a quick buck here and there. So they're looking for any loophole to say, oh, here we go, opportunity knocks. So guys, just be on point, really be on point. Speak to your dedicated account manager for advice throughout the whole process. And knitting at Solaris Relocations was just wonderful. That was really great. Really great. So I'm very happy about that choice. Okay, so we did all our research, okay, chose Solaris Relocations, and we were about to pay £7,500, and then we began to have second thought. This is a lot of money, you know. Are we making the right move? Or would it be better if we sold everything and then just went and then buy new in Ghana? Do you remember that conversation? Yeah. And go on, what was your
my fear was this, right? So I was really concerned because when you have products like refrigerator and dishwasher, I believe, or let's say what I've seen so far is this. Now, the products they bring into the UK are of much better quality than what they give them, in Africa, so far as I know. Do you understand? Right, because they are quite solid in the UK. They last longer, whereas the ones that are coming to Africa, they don't have that kind of standard, because they have a body.
For some of them,
a body that will look at. I don't know how they rate it. They make sure that they bring regulations. Yes, but they have that in the UK. They have regulations that got standards. It's got to meet some certain criteria. But in Africa,
Ghana, let's say.
Let's say, I don't know about Ghana, but let me say in Nigeria, they give you anything.
However,
you understand?
And just to temper that, yes, I agree with what you're saying, right? But you can get the same quality from the UK and Ghana, but you pay much more. So, for example, if a washing machine was £300 in the UK, the quality that you're used to, it would be like £500 in Ghana. If you go to Accra Mall or something, so you can get the quality in certain places, but you're paying much more. Obviously it's been imported and the rest.
I don't know. I can't really talk about Ghana.
From what I've seen,
but from what I know in Nigeria,
right? Okay.
You will pay for some people. You pay very expensive prices for something that is not even worth it. They don't even have good standards. Say, for example, if I had an iPhone, I don't know how they get their stuff. Say, for example, if it was an iPhone that I bought in the UK, it will last and last and last. But if it was an iPhone that was made specifically for Africa, it won't last. I mean, I've seen so many of the products that they send over there that don't last. So that was my fear.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So I thought that the best thing would have been to buy from the UK, knowing that they have that strict, good quality standard.
That's what you mean, yeah.
Because they always do that to Africa. They export rubbish mostly into Africa, things that don't last, especially with the electrical and electronics. So that was actually my concern.
Yeah. Okay, what you're saying. But apart from that, so after all that research, we decided, looking at the cost of the items, replacing all the items in Ghana, fears of quality, as Crystal just said. But then we thought, well, if we sell all our items in the UK, the amount we could get for, let's say, used items, right, plus the amount we would have to spend replacing them in Ghana, adding all those two amounts together would be less than the amount it would cost us to ship our items to Ghana. Do you understand that? So therefore, it didn't really make sense to do that, especially with the fears of quality, and we didn't want to spend more. We wanted to keep our expenditure as minimum as possible. So even though it's a significant cost, 7,500, it would be more than 7,500 if we sold our items in the UK, brought that money to Ghana, and then we need to add some more money to that to replace them all in Ghana. So we were happy with the decision to export all our items. Okay, so Chris, now packing tips. You want to give the guys some packing tips, because there's a bit to say in packing for sure.
Yeah, so guys, what I did was that I made sure that we bought some bubble wraps, and those are used for my very delicate products, items like my flower vase, my blenders, picture frames, just very, very breakable, delicate stuffs. I make sure I wrap those things myself, okay? And we bought a kind of tape, a packing tape. Wrapped everything, tied everything very, very well, neatly. Make sure that it wouldn't leak, or make sure that it wouldn't break. And I padded them quite a lot. Really padded them to make sure they were secure. Because the thing is, if you want, I know that the Solaris, they were going to do the packing for us, but at the same time, I wouldn't trust anybody. I don't really care who you are, with things that are very, very delicate, are very fragile. Yeah, very important to me. So I like to pack them myself. Then they can also pack them if they wanted to do that. Yeah. So
what about the inventory?
Yeah, so yes, inventory. So what Kia and I did, because there's one thing about me, I don't like looking for stuff. So I like my stuff to be organized. I want to know where, when I think of it, I know where it is already. So I don't go looking for things. I hate looking for things. I'm not good at that. So each time we packed something, or we wrapped up something, put it in a box. Yes, we went to McDonald's. We got their empty boxes. Because some people thought we were crazy, but it was okay. No. Yeah, so we went there, we asked them if they had empty boxes there, and they got loads and loads of empty boxes. So what we did was, in the boxes, what I did was I put my clothes, some old clothes, I would say. Yeah, so some winter clothes as well at the base of the box. Then I wrapped some of my very delicate items and put a sellotape around them. And then I kind of put them there, lay them in the box. And then I used some of my old clothes again to cover up. And then I put some bubble wraps on top, just to make it on the sides and every part of the box, just to make sure that it's all, safe. And then we had the book, a big book where we wrote every item. So every box will have a number. So when I come to the book, I write number 1. So if the box number is number 1, so I'll list all the items in the box. Okay, and then number 2 box, I list all the items. So for every box, there'll be a list of all items. So I'll know where it is. I'll know what I'm looking for and how to get, what I'm looking for. Yeah, so that's what we did. Yeah, and
we had 220 boxes in total, which is great. And what we'll say right now is that by all glory to the Most High, every single box arrived, not even one missing.
Yes.
So that was absolutely wonderful. And when that happens, you made the right choice in the company.
Yes. But do you want to talk about Solaris coming to Papa? You're not there yet.
No. Go on. Yeah, you can say that. You say that. Say that.
Right. So when Solaris came, it was like we done most of the work for them because we don't already have. But those guys are really good. They wanted to know what was inside the box, so they called us. What's inside this box? We opened the box. We had to open the boxes up, all of them, so that they could actually attest that that's what's in the box.
They have to do their own packing list.
Yes. So everything we did, forget it. They had to put everything in a different box, in different boxes.
It wasn't too bad though. They opened up our boxes, had a quick check, happy, resealed them, and then put it in their own box. So we had double protection. We had a box in a box, which I'm happy with. Yeah.
Yes. So they had to make their own list.
Yeah.
Again, then we had our own list. They had their own list, and that was quite good.
Fantastic. Yeah. So
but the thing is that we made work easier for them, and I felt more comfortable. You know, the guys said, "Oh, you guys did very good. The way you packed your stuff, they did very good." Yeah.
And we needed that because we needed to know where things were. We just needed. I'm happy we did that. To be fair, I'm happy we did that. All right. So, as I said earlier on, glory to the Most High.
Sorry, the thing is, if you don't have the time to pack your stuff, the guys will do a very brilliant job. But just that. I'm very particular about a few things, so it was important I didn't matter. But if you don't have that time to do it, those guys are really brilliant. You don't have to worry about anything. Yeah.
Absolutely. They'll come and pack everything for you. So
everything.
You don't necessarily need to pack.
Yeah.
Yes. So now we arrived at the Kotoka airport, and just so you know, after the usual airport routine, and before you leave or after you get your baggage, but before you leave the airport, it's very important that you go to the help desk. And in fact, they're actually announcing in the airport, you need to fill what is called a PUBD form, which is the Passenger Unaccompanied Baggage Declaration Form. It's free of charge, but you must absolutely have to fill it out. And if you don't fill it out, you can come back, but I think there's a period of about 1 week or 2 weeks after arrival. If you don't fill it out, then you'll be charged for it. Okay, so it was a very, very long day at the airport. I don't even remember, you were knackered.
Oh my God. Yeah.
It's because it took about over 2 hours to go through the airport, the COVID test and all of that. But I had to go back and get that PDU form. I needed to definitely do it because filling out that PUBD form also gives you some tax and duty exemptions, which is very, very, very important, right? Very, very important because there are some tax exemptions for people who are Ghanaians who maybe have left the country for a long time but are relocating. There are some tax exemptions, but you only get that if you fill out the PUBD form.
What? There was this question that asked you, when was the last time you went to Ghana? Didn't they ask you that?
Yeah, they'll ask you that. Yeah, they'll ask you when the last time you came to Ghana, and you have to present your passport to prove that as well. So that's all part of the process. Yeah.
I think well, I'm not sure. I think that one of the reasons why they ask when was the last time you went to Ghana, they need to make sure that you don't do that often. Like some people will transport things every now and again, like if it's for business, So say for example, because they ask us like, if you've been to Ghana, if you hadn't been to Ghana in a long time, then they know it's not for business. But if you've been to Ghana like every year, every 6 months, they will really, really question to know whether you're. Because some people want to exempt taxes on, business.
Goods, yeah, of course, yeah,
and services. So that's why.
That's right. That's a good point actually, guys. This is where the local partner comes in handy, because when you fill out the PUBD form and you go through the process, you eventually give your form to the local export partner or import partner in this case. And they, depending on their skill and experience, they'll be able to negotiate with the customs to get your duty and taxes as low as possible. One tip is don't overstate the value of your goods also on the PUBD form at the airport. Glory to Jehovah, the lady at the airport was quite helpful to us and gave us some good tips there as well. And believe it or not, this sounds completely illogical and completely mad. Please keep the evidence of your COVID test at the airport. Somebody will say, what the hell has COVID test got to do with exporting your items?
I know.
But this is Ghana, and throughout the process to clear our items, the customs guys through our agent were asking for the COVID test. So what's it got to do with you? Thank the Most High that I kept.
And that was like how long? 5 weeks after we had
7 weeks. 7 weeks after
we had arrived.
Yeah.
So we went to get the goods.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were asking for a COVID test. What do you need the COVID test?
No, we didn't go to get the goods. The agent called us to say they were asking for COVID test.
Yeah, apply for the goods. Yeah. So they're asking for COVID test results.
Exactly.
I wonder what's
that got to do with boxes, bringing import. But I just thank God we had a good local partner who knew what they were doing. So, you know, as soon as they arrived, they collected their passport, did everything was on point. You know, so that was great. So
yeah, I felt a bit freaked out when they said they were asking Kingsley to leave his passport with them, because it was something I felt, what's the point? Because you could just photocopy that, and they should have your passport, a copy of your passport at the customs.
Yeah.
Because you gave them a copy, they photocopied it when we arrived, didn't they? Did we give them a copy?
When you arrived at the airport?
Yeah.
No.
But when you went to do the clearing?
No.
But one way or the, okay, right. So even if they didn't have it,
but then the shipping company from the shipping company from the UK, they have a copy of my passport.
Have a copy,
so they should be able to supply it to them.
Exactly.
But for some reason they want a hard copy.
They wanted a hard copy.
Yeah, which is I was nervous in the beginning, but it was fine because this agent was very good. The local partner was very good, so it was fine.
Yeah, but I didn't feel very comfortable with that, because I'm like, it should be on the system, and if you had the photocopy, that should be okay. But how long did they hold the passport for?
About, I don't know, 5 weeks.
5 weeks. So if we needed to do something in Ghana with his passport, we couldn't do it. So I think you had to use your British passport to do a few things, isn't it? Yeah. So just bear that in mind.
Exactly.
That you will need your to give them your passport.
Yes.
And that means you will suspend everything you need to do with your passport until they finish with what they're doing with your passport, and then give it back to you to do what you want to do.
Exactly. That's a good point.
Yeah.
Absolutely right. So guys, now for the bonus information that we promised those who wait to the end. So the shipping industry, if you know anything about it, is riddled with sharks and dishonest people. I mean, even you had to ship. You decided. In fact, now you know it's a mistake to ship a couple of iPhones to Nigeria some years ago, and that was it. The person never received it. Lost in the post.
Lost. It wasn't even it wasn't in the post. It was through these guys that do door to door delivery.
Yeah.
You know, I'd used the guy before, and this time around I just put an iPhone. It was missing. He didn't give me any account. I cried over that. I mean, that's my iPhone, and I wanted to bless somebody with it. It was just missing. He didn't give me any account of the iPhone. There was no insurance. The thing is, anyway, let's not go there.
Exactly. Just be careful. You're ready to shock. So if you are interested in Solaris relocations, we've used, drop us a text or WhatsApp message, which is easiest, on the number that's coming up on your screen. Okay, and we will give you the inside contact at Solaris Relocations, his name and number, and we will also give you a unique code that will allow you to benefit as follows from Solaris Relocations. One, you're going to be able to get a cheaper industry insurance rate. Normally it's about 3.5%, but if you use this code, you'll be able to get it at 2.8%. And every little helps. That makes a difference depending on the amount that you're shipping.
Yeah. With
Solaris Relocation, as you said already, with that code, you have access to a local partner who will guide you and explain to you the process, explain to you the do's and don'ts. Very important, because if you do the don'ts because you don't know, then you're going to pay. You give the opportunity to the custom officers to get more money out of you. Diaspora, they know you have it in your pocket, so know that
every little thing they want to do is squish the money out of you. Just make sure that you don't give them the impression that you got money all over you.
Exactly. Again, with that code, you in Solaris, you'll be able to understand how to legally avoid paying excessive taxes and duties. Okay, you know, Solaris Relocations, and again, research them for yourself. They're one of the major shippers to Ghana now. Because they're one of the major shippers, they can get very good preferential rates, which obviously they pass on to your customers. And they can ship a 20-foot container, a 40-foot container, and even other small items that you need. So that's really your choice there. So you've got the information, and drop us a text if you want to go down that route. All right. So now, what we'll say is please tune into part 2. There's going to be a part 2 because we've dealt with shipping the items from the UK to Ghana. Now we're going to tell you in part 2 about what happened when the goods arrived and how we got them to our home. All right, that will be released, let's say, 4 days after this one. Okay, we'll talk to you about we'll give you more information about the very, very excellent local Ghanaian company who we dealt with. We'll tell you about the cost of clearance, duties and taxes that we paid to them. And also there was a rather annoying but unfortunate extra cost that we had to bear on top of the £7,500, which we'll tell you in part 2. We'll tell you how that happened. It was annoying, but you know, there was nothing we could do about it if you wanted our stuff. So tune into part 2. Tune into part 2, and then you'll be able to understand how that happened and exactly how much it was. But all in all, the price for our 40-foot container was good. I've done a number of comparisons compared to 20-foot container. Other companies, the price was fine. Not cheap, but that's part of the relocation cost that you need to put into account if you want to make Africa home again, one family at a time. Yes, so that's a wrap from us today, guys. Join us in part 2. All right, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification button so that you always be aware when Asher and Gad upload a new and educational video for your viewing pleasure. So from you, it's
Kemesia.
guys, Yebeshia. See you next time.